Wolf bear! Since it's Mother's Day, let's talk about that coyote encounter for a little bit. It's not my first, not even close, and I've had my dogs with me on some of them. And I'm sure a lot of people think, hey, you're such an animal advocate. What would you do if the coyote killed your dogs? And I'd be heartbroken. I would be heartbroken. And I'd have a tremendous amount of guilt adding to those feelings. And I would absolutely not complain about the coyote. I wouldn't demand a call to action to get rid of coyotes. I don't even think I would report it, just because it seems like people can't wait for an excuse to come out and kill things. I mean, consider what would motivate a coyote to come at me and my dogs, all three of us together. I mean, that's desperation. You know, it's not like a joy killing. And as far as I know, that's a mother. And I'm sitting in a dry creek bed right now in a hill that is just depleted completely of native life and forage. So the food options for that coyote are probably pretty terrible. I don't know. I mean, this is all hypothetical because that coyote didn't seem violent at all. I think it stumbled upon us. If anything, it was curious. But nevertheless, people are like, well, what would you do? That's truly what I believe I would do. Um, it's not what I want to happen. That's why I keep my dogs close to me and train them not to chase after. Wolf Bear started to briefly, but you see, even in the moment of excitement, that he listened. I actually cussed at him for a while, but I didn't think you guys needed to hear that. But I was very disappointed that he spooked off the coyote, or even started after the coyote. So it would have been nice just to sit there and observe the coyote. Doesn't mean there isn't a risk, but life has risk. And this idea of going out into nature and preemptively killing everything so that there isn't ever risk is terrible. That's just disgusting and heartless. You know, trying to create a risk-free world. There's no such thing. You know, and I'm aware of the risks. And if you're not aware of the risks, that's your fault. We're supposed to be the most intelligent species on the planet. Fucking get educated and learn how to deal with your surroundings when you choose to enter those surroundings. There are ways to be out in nature where there are predators and not die or not get attacked. And if in some really, really, really weird scenario, the wild animal actually chose to engage you, well, you got to think about what would cause that to happen and what exactly you would accomplish by demanding the death of that animal when you entered its territory. You could have been, I could have been, you know, we could have been standing on or next to the den that a mother is protecting. She could be about to starve to death. Her babies could be about to starve to death. And here we come stumbling into their world. And then we demand their death when we've already taken so much from them. We've already pushed them to the point of desperation. And I look around at other people's dogs more and more and more, and I just see that they're prisoners. They're getting fed, sure, but they're just prisoners. They're not even living real lives. And every adventure I've taken my dogs on, if they should be so unfortunate to get taken out by a wild animal, they would have lived better lives than almost any dog I've ever encountered, no matter how long that dog lives. I'm sorry, is quality of life how long you carry out a prison sentence? You know, I'd rather die I'd rather die than have an extended life in prison, personally. That's how far detached we are from life and from purpose and from living. We're just chasing this like hollow existence to where we actually believe we're doing pets a favor by putting a roof over their heads and feeding them and maybe letting them shit once or twice a day. Wow, what a fulfilling life. But that's measured against our own lifestyle. We don't do fucking shit anymore. You know, we just vary the location where we sit on our asses and earn a paycheck. And now we think that's okay for everything else. And we think we're doing zoo animals a favor. It's like, well, we're going to preserve the existence of the species. No, you just robbed that species of its very purpose on this planet. It doesn't want to exist in a zoo.